Good morning. I got your stories for the fourth week of February 2021. First one, Norwegian company TECO 2030 intends to partner with an Austrian engineering firm AVI to build a fuel cell gigafactory to serve ships with 1.2 gigawatts of output per year. Initial production is expected by 2022 in this factory, and TECO 2030 says it has a 400 kilowatt maritime fuel cell module that I can join three of them together into a propulsion system, which is significantly smaller than similarly rated diesel systems, but large enough for certain ships. In other news, Vestas is investing in a wooden wind tower company called Modvion in a part to decarbonize its supply chain. Modvion manufactures these towers of laminated veneer lumber, and it indicates it's sourced sustainably and validated to uphold robust reforestation strategies. Compared with the supply chain of a regular steel tower, the Modvion towers should reduce carbon emissions by about 80%. These towers are said to be stronger than steel by weight, and they're assembled on site from modular components. The company claims the ability to reach 120 meters of hub height and indicates this modular approach will allow it to navigate highways. Think about bridges and cloverleafs that otherwise would preclude logistical movement of large steel towers. Ford says it will go all in on EVs in Europe, with all passenger vehicles in Europe to be, quote, zero emissions capable, all electric or plug-in hybrid, unquote, by mid-2026, and a completely all-electric offering will be on the table by 2030. After recently announcing its expanded investment in EVs on autonomy, going from $11 billion to $29 billion, now it's saying they're going to spend $1 billion of that to convert its Cologne, Germany plant into its first European EV facility. Ford plans to gradually transition to EV production over the next decade. By 2024, its entire commercial vehicle output will be zero emissions capable, all electric or plug-in hybrid. 2 years later, 100% of its passenger vehicle lineup will have the same status, and by 2030, Ford plans on having all of its passenger vehicles being pure battery electrics, and 2/3 of its commercial vehicle sales being all electric or plug-in hybrids. In other innovative technology news, geothermal company Eavor scores a $40 million investment from BP and Chevron and a few other players. These companies know a thing or two about drilling holes in the ground, so this may help accelerate Eavor's progress. It could be a pretty big deal. Eavor has this technology that allows for horizontal drilling that converts heat from the Earth's core into energy without the need for your typical hot water geothermal reservoir that we see in typical geothermal wells. It also doesn't require pumping huge amounts of water into the system like some other newer geothermal tech. What Eavor does do is drill 8-inch tunnels several miles down, then turn 90 degrees, like fracking, run for another mile or two, make a sharp turn to double back on itself, and then heads back up to the surface. It then fills the tunnel with a water-based fluid, which the underground rocks heat up as the water migrates through the system, driving an electric generating organic Rankine cycle turbine on the surface. Here's what's interesting about the technology. It doesn't need pumps. That cold solution pushes the less dense hotter water towards the surface. So the fluid cycles automatically, and then the more loops you add in, the more energy you get. And if you adjust the pressure in the loops, you create various amounts of energy so it's dispatchable and can be used as a peaker or a baseload. The company already has a functioning pilot plant in Alberta, Canada, and indicates it is in discussion to build numerous commercial projects around the world, with its first 10 megawatt deal in Germany, with drilling as early as next January at the current site of a dry geothermal well. The question now, as always is the case with new technology, is can it scale? How fast can it scale? And at what price can it deliver energy? Texas probably could have used some of those machines last week. Well, thanks for watching. We'll talk to you again next week. Take care.